Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast. Did you know? Brought to you by MallardBay.com. Go over to MallardBay.com for any of your fishing, hunting trips that you need. If you're an outfitter, go over and check them out. They can help book and sell your hunts. Do your website, do everything for you. That's MallardBay.com.
We will see. Is Wyatt going to be in Baton Rouge this week?
Yes.
Good.
The Mallard Bay crew will be at Baton Rouge.
Look forward to seeing them. They're a lot of fun.
Yes, they will be at Delta, and we will see y'all at Delta. So tomorrow.
Shameless plug. Go check
weekend.
out on our YouTube channel. We have 3 new episodes of the first family of waterfowl. So if you are wanting to binge, you are in luck. We've got our Gold Star episode. We've got a
Goose opener.
opening weekend of goose season episode, and we've got a shell episode. So that, along with the one that we released last week, will make 4 episodes for your binging pleasures. And let me tell you, that fucking goose hunt episode, it's episode 3. Good one. It is a good one.
That was a shameless plug. You must be in episode 3.
I am. No. I just meant the goose hunt itself.
Okay.
Yes, I am very sexy in that, though.
Well, good. Looking good for you.
Looking good. Feeling good, too.
Look like Logan Pyatt.
Yeah, if I only wish.
Okay, I'm going to start it out today.
You start her out.
Did you know
I did not.
what the 15 most dangerous cities in America?
Okay, I'm going to list Baton Rouge at number 1 because we're going to be there. Dallas, Fort Worth, number 2.
Baton Rouge is number 10.
Fuck. Okay, so you want my real list?
Yeah, this is from Forbes.
Okay.
Forbes released this.
Okay. I am going to say
I'm going to give you well, there's 15 of them.
Okay.
I'm going to see if you can get 4 of the top 15. Go ahead.
Memphis.
Memphis is number 5.
Okay. New Orleans.
New Orleans is number 8.
Oh fuck! I figured that was number 1. What most dangerous cities?
Forbes released the most dangerous cities in the U.S.
You've already told me Baton Rouge is on there.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm at 3.
Well, I told you Baton Rouge, so you're at 2, really. So go ahead.
Baton Rouge is gonna be my fucking guess.
We'll skip Baton Rouge. We don't.
San Francisco, Oakland.
Oakland is number 12.
Okay, so we'll say that's number 3.
Okay.
My dark horse is gonna be Miami. No, Houston.
Nope.
No, Houston.
There's not a city in Texas on there.
All right, good for us.
Nope. I was kind of surprised by that.
Okay, it's gonna be Birmingham.
Birmingham is number 3.
Okay, I need one more. Little Rock. Just because of what
Little
you said.
Rock is on there.
Just because of what you said last year.
Yep.
About Delta.
St. Louis, Missouri, most dangerous city in America.
Okay, yeah, we talked about that last week.
Mobile, Alabama, number 2.
Okay.
Birmingham, Alabama, 3.
Okay.
Baltimore, 4.
I didn't even think about the wire.
Memphis, 5.
Yep.
Detroit, 6.
They're cleaning up Detroit, though, aren't they?
Well, it's 6 still.
Well, they're trying.
Cleveland, 7. New Orleans, 8. Shreveport, 9. Baton Rouge, 10.
Louisiana and Alabama are coming in strong.
Little Rock, 11. Oakland's the only city in California on there.
Which is shocking.
Milwaukee, 13.
Milwaukee.
Kansas City, 14. And Philadelphia, 15.
What was number 4? Kansas City?
Yep, Kansas City and Philadelphia.
You know, sidebar, they said that Grindr crashed last week in Milwaukee.
All the gays for
all
Republicans.
the Republican gays that were trying to hook up.
So don't tell me we didn't get the gay vote.
Right, yeah.
We busted Grindr. Okay, now.
Done broke Grindr.
Police shortages. Okay. Every one of the top 5 cities, St. Louis, Mobile, Birmingham, Baltimore, Memphis, all have one common denominator.
Police shortage.
Yeah. Well, they also ran by Democrats. They're blue cities.
Well, we canceled the police about 4 years ago. So.
St. Louis needs to have a little over 1,200 police officers.
That's not too terrible.
They have 900.
That's it?
That's it. They're 25% short. They're 300 officers short.
Wow.
Mobile, Alabama has 500, and they got about 450. So they're not that. They're 50 officers short, which is 10% down. I mean, that's still a lot, but that's still not as bad.
Okay, hold on. You said St. Louis. I want to look up St. Louis population. Now, is this proper St. Louis or?
I'm sure it's St. Louis proper.
Okay, so St. Louis.
The city of St. Louis.
St. Louis has 300,000 inhabitants according to the census in 2020.
The city of St. Louis.
Yes.
And they've got 1,200.
What's the math on
officers.
that percentage wise?
They have 300,000, and they got 12. Dang, you put me on the spot because I'm tired this morning. 1% would have been less than 1%. A third of 1%.
And what was number 2? What was the second one you said that had 400?
Mobile, Alabama.
I just want to see if there's like a percentage of
Of
officers
population
that you need.
per officer. I see what you're saying there.
Right. 187,000
That would be about 2/3 of the size. So St. Louis has got more police officers than
Per
Mobile
capita?
does per capita.
Okay.
Third, Birmingham, Alabama. Now, this is where it's scary. I would not want to live in Birmingham right now. Birmingham has 725 officers when they're at full. Right now, they only have 425. They're 300 officers short.
Birmingham has over 1 million people there, 1.2.
Okay. It's a bigger city than St. Louis then.
Yeah.
And it's got, when they're running full, they still have 500 less officers. Now, they may also have a big county officer presence there. I don't know. But they're 300. They're almost half. They're almost 50% down on officers.
Wow.
Baltimore has 2,150 police officers.
Makes sense.
And they're short 500. So they're short
25%.
about 25%. Memphis has 2,500 officers, and Memphis is not as big as Baltimore, as I don't think.
Baltimore population says smidge over 500,000. Call it 600,000.
They got 600,000. They got 2,100 officers. They got twice as many officers as St. Louis does.
And you said what town's not as big as Baltimore?
Memphis. Memphis might be as big as Baltimore. I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, they're the same size.
Okay. And Memphis has got 2,500 officers, and they're 600 officers short. That's what that good old defund your police has done. Crime is skyrocketing.
Go up on you.
And you do not want to live in Alabama. It does not sound like that.
Or Louisiana.
No,
Shreveport, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans were all on there. Those are your 3 major cities in Louisiana, right?
Yes.
Am I missing one?
No, that's it. You got, what'd you say?
Shreveport, Baton Rouge, New Orleans.
All 3 big towns in Louisiana, all
They're
covered
the
with
3.
crime. And they're all 3 trashed with crime. But Alabama, you look at Alabama, you got Birmingham, you got Mobile. I don't know what the next big town in Alabama would be.
Where's Tuscaloosa?
Tuscaloosa?
No, Tuskegee.
Huh?
Yeah, that's going to be next week's.
Talladega? Oh, Tuskegee. Oh, we're the Tuskegee Airmen?
Yeah.
Tuskegee?
What state is that in?
That's
Alabama.
in Alabama. Yeah.
Alabama. So next week, the Tuskegee
Airmen.
syphilis experiment.
Oh,
That's
okay.
going to be next week.
Well, okay.
Kind of ties into your next one, but
Yes. Well, no, my next one is this first. Anyways, it's just the crime and telling you about how short of cops we are. Small towns are the same way.
right.
We have a major police shortage.
Big problem.
Cities cannot fund the police departments. They've defunded them, but to hire back a police officer, it costs so much money for a cop to work there.
Right.
And to get a police officer from a place that has cops, you're going to have to pay them a lot of money.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to be a cop in the shitholes.
No.
To me, as a young police officer, it'd be fun to be in the hood. That's where you'd want to be. It's a lot of action, stuff going down all the time.
Did you see that one cop shot that lady in the face?
Mm-mm.
They walk in. I've not seen all of the video, but anyway, they get a call, and I don't know what all transpires, but somehow she goes and she says she's going to throw water on him. She picks up two hot pads to pick up
yes,
the
I
boiling
did
water.
see this. Yes. And
And then he said, I'm going to shoot you in the fucking face if you pick that up. And she says, okay, I'm not going to do it. Her hands go up, poof, right in the face.
yeah, I don't.
Right in the head.
Domed her.
And then he didn't render aid or anything. I mean, it's a whole
That's
whole
bad.
bad
Guys
deal.
like that kill the good cops.
Yeah, I think they've already arrested him.
Because it always makes it one, and because it's racism or it's no, it's not. It's a dumbass.
Right.
You know, geez, you can't blame the poor lady coach that got killed last night.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Mom sent me that. I didn't
Terrible
look at it.
deal. Lady from little town of Jasper, Texas, was at a coaches convention, and they were sitting at an outside bar somewhere, and someone shot a gun on 35, and a bullet hit her in her back and killed her.
God,
Bless her. You know, pray for her family. That's a terrible deal.
Hate it.
It's just there's no respect, and that cop's just as guilty as whoever did that is.
Yeah.
Okay, what to do if your dog gets skunked? You do not get them wet. Water seals the skunk's oil secretion into the hair follicle, and your pet will smell for weeks or even months. Make a paste with baking soda and shampoo or dish soap. Apply this mixture liberally onto your pet, dry, and let it set for about 30 minutes. Then it's okay to rinse. Fun fact, skunks can spray up to 10 feet and can spray as many as 10 times in a row. So anyways, that's my skunk deal. Okay, this we're going to get into. Brody Hensley told me about this weekend, and I'd heard about it, but I really hadn't gotten into it much until this week. Unit 731 was a Japanese Wuhan lab, basically. And the Japanese were probably as vicious and evil as any Indian tribe that ever have. Because the Apache Indians or Comanches, which one was it? It was the Comanches, right? Or the Apaches. Yeah. Whatever one of them is, they were evil. Mm-hmm. I mean, they would cut their squaws Achilles tendons so they couldn't walk off. Yeah. And they couldn't leave the place.
Well, Indians came from that area.
Yes, the same bridge gap that come across. Anyways, I would bet genetically there's a lot of they're very close genetically.
They are. They don't metabolize alcohol.
What now?
Yeah, so the same gene that affects Native Americans with alcohol, you also see that in Japanese and Chinese people.
I mean, I did not know that.
So it would make sense that they all crossed that same land bridge, or they left there, crossed the land bridge, and whatever genetic mutation that affects Native Americans also affects those people.
That's interesting.
Not those people.
I understand what you're saying.
You know what I mean.
I'm not sensitive. You're not bothering me. My Japanese side ain't upset.
Sure.
My Chinese
well,
side.
I didn't want to,
Unit 731, short for Manchu Detachment 731, and also known as the KAMO Detachment, and the Ishi Unit was a covert biological and chemical warfare research and development unit of the Imperial Japanese Army that engaged in lethal human experimentation and biological weapons manufacturing during the Second Sino-Japanese War and World War II. Estimates varied to how many were killed. Between 1936 and 1945, roughly 14,000 victims were murdered in Unit 731. It is estimated that at least 300,000 individuals have died due to infectious illness caused by the activities of Unit 731 and its affiliated research facilities. It was based on the Pingfang district of Harbin, the largest city of the Japanese puppet state of Manchukuo, now northeast China, and they had active branch offices throughout China and Southeast Asia. A lot of people don't realize in World War II, or before World War II, the Japanese treated the Chinese people like they were their slaves. Mm-hmm. They had that's what they were. They were slaves. They captured them. They slaved them. They tortured them. They did all kinds of experiments on them. They experimented on them, everything from syphilis. They would cut your right arm off of you and try to or cut it off and then try to resew it to your left arm. They did all kinds of stuff. Sadly, the Americans and the Russians after World War II continued some of this experimental stuff, hence to what you'll talk about next week. But anyways, if you really want to dive into something, look at Unit 731. It was the evil Wuhan lab of the Japanese who tortured the Chinese, and that is why the Chinese and the Japanese are still not very good friends. So anyways, that's up to you now.
So here's Dr. Peterson talking about Unit 731.
Trigger warning, you're getting one. So I'm going to tell you something you will never forget. So this is what Unit 731 used to do in China. It's a Japanese unit during the Second World War, right? They took their prisoners and they would put them in a position so that their arms would freeze solid. And then they would take them outside and pour hot water over their arms. And then they would repeat that till the flesh came off the bones. And they were doing that to investigate the treatment of frostbite for soldiers. That's human beings. Someone thought that up, and then people did it.
So that's just a little bit about 731, but yeah, Jordan Peterson, he actually does quite a bit about. He's like, listen, if you're squeamish, just don't even dive off into Unit 731 because you'll have nightmares on how people come up with this sort of thing.
So all this, and they worked on chemical warfare there and stuff.
Oh, I mean,
all the stuff that we're having today is nothing new.
No. I mean, you got to experiment on how this shit's going to work. And you got to, at some point you got to move past lab rats and see how it's going to work on people. But yeah, it's pretty rough. So anyway, if you care to dive off into Unit 731 more, Peterson does talk quite a bit about it. All right. So I am going to talk about investing and rich people and their investments. So I'm going to start off with Charles Barkley. Everybody knows about Michael Jordan and all the money that he made off of Nike. But did you know Charles Barkley was offered $3 million from Nike? So we're going to pay you $3 million. We're Nike. Michael Jordan.
This was probably about the same time as Jordan, because about the same age.
Probably so.
They came out pretty close to the same time.
Michael Jordan saw Charles Barkley and he said, "Hey, what are you doing? You don't need $3 million. He said, take $1 million or take $2 million, get the other in stock options. Get Nike stocks."
Great advice.
So that's what he did, and it increased his portfolio. He said, "Yeah, I actually probably made about 10 times the amount of money from Nike, and still with Nike today." So that was one of the times that rich people paid off. So here are some investments that did not work out so well. Mark Twain, the Page compositor, proving that poor financial advice is nothing new. Writer Mark Twain lost a fortune when he invested his life savings into the Page compositor. The doomed device was a mechanical typeset machine invented by James Page in the late 1800s and was so complex that it reportedly had 18,000 parts. Sources claim that that Twain invested $300,000, a little over $10 million in today's money, into the development of the machine. Unfortunately, fewer than half a dozen machines were ever made, and James Page would soon declare bankruptcy, taking Mark Twain down with him. Kim Basinger, or Basinger, however you decide to, whatever. In 1988, Basinger made slightly more unusual investments. Instead of buying into a company or a product, Basinger decided to spend $20 million on buying the majority of land in Braselton, a town in Georgia. Her investment would be the equivalent of a whopping $53 million in today's money. It did not pay off. Jay-Z, Hotels Fella, I don't know what that is. Torrey Hunter, inflatable
football player,
I think so,
or baseball player.
Player.
Baseball for the Twins.
Inflatable furniture rafts. He invested $70,000. It didn't work out. Selena Gomez, Postcard on the Run. Justin Timberlake, Striple and MySpace. Michael Vick, dog fighting. Schwarzenegger, Planet Hollywood. You could probably put other people in that.
Yeah, that was Bruce Willis and
Bruce Willis and them. They declared bankruptcy in 1999 with that.
How about a hit and a miss?
A lot of people were the Bernie Madoff scheme, Kevin Bacon and his wife, John Malkovich. And then down here towards the bottom, Bono invested in the Palm. It did not work out. Mark Brunell.
Ex-quarterback.
Whataburger and real estate. Sunk them.
Whataburger did. That's surprising.
Whataburger. So, like many athletes, Mark Brunell invested his NFL millions in a number of businesses. Along with two former teammates, he started a company called Champion LLC in order to get in the real estate game. However, he put all of his money at the time of the crash. So he lost his money there. And then he put $9 million in Whataburger, ended up losing all of his money there. I don't know how.
I don't know how the hell you did that.
2010, Brunell filed Chapter 11.
He played football for a long time because he played like 20 years, didn't he?
Yeah, I've got his...
Because he played for the Jets when Mark Sanchez was there, and his daughter was the same age as he was, I think.
Reportedly made $80 million. No. He earned $50 million in his career, and he's dead broke right now.
Dead broke or...
No, like he's getting sued by everybody, and...
He's living in a tent? So he's basically has his NFL...
I think he's a... I saw him. He was on Hard Knocks with some team. Maybe the Jets.
So he's still living a life. He's not destitute.
No, he's not. Well, I mean, he's probably making a couple $100,000 a year.
That's better than a lot of people make.
Well, not if you got.
Well,
not if you got.
I can't believe you went and broke one.
500 million. It doesn't say how Whataburger screwed him.
I'm sure they didn't
enough.
scream, but it's a publicly traded company now, isn't it?
I don't know.
It would have been worth something. Who knows?
So some of the greatest investments that paid off, Apple. Where's it at? Apple started out 46 cents a share. Today, or in 2018, it's 175.
Yeah, and it split like 4 times.
Ford in 2009.
I own some of that.
Stock price in 2009 was 145. 2018, it's $10.
Yeah, but it got up to 15.
Did it?
I bought it at $1 and sold it at $7.
This looks like it's an older article.
Yep. I'm going to tell you one of the biggest hit and
American
misses.
Airlines in 2011, it was at 20 cents a share. 2018, it was 50. And that probably went down after COVID, too. So you probably had another chance at buying American.
I'll tell you a good hit and miss, or a screw-up and miss. Guy quarterback the Denver Broncos named John Elway.
Yeah.
Pat Bowlen came to John Elway on his last big contract, and my numbers are going to be a little off because I'm going strictly off memory here. And he said, John, I could give you $40 million. He said, what I'd like to do is give you $10 million, and I'd like to give $30 million of it in ownership of the team, and the team's valued at $1 billion, so you'll own 3% of the, or it's worth $200 million or whatever it was, and you'll own 5 or 10%. Are you reading it right now?
10% stake in the team for the money that the team owed him, $21 million for the last year of his contract.
And they was going to give him 10% for the $20 million. They sold the Broncos for how many $1 billion?
I don't know. I'm trying to pull up the article to see what cost him. Ooh,
it's a big one.
It's cost him almost $1 billion.
Yes, I knew it was a big screw up.
Sure.
And he was a wealthy man at the time, anyways.
Right.
I don't understand why he would have passed that up.
Kind of like Charles Barkley.
Yeah, I don't.
What's the extra couple million going to do for you?
It doesn't. If some of the smartest contracts in sports have been Bobby Bonilla.
Is he the guy that's still getting
gets
paid?
$1 million fucking every year and gets it for another 14 or 15 years.
Right. Bobby Bonilla Day, isn't it?
Yep. And he had money, so it wasn't hurting him none. So he pushed it off till he retired. That was a smart move. But that right there, I don't understand the $20 million. And I don't understand John Elway's situation. He went through a divorce and stuff. But it seemed to me at 10% ownership of an NFL franchise, when you already are banking, he owned car dealerships and everything else, would have been I don't understand. You know, it's always easy looking back.
Hold on. He was going to offer him 20%. So in September of 1998, Bowlen offered Elway 10% in the team for what he owed him. Bowlen sweetened the deal by offering him another 10% of the team for $15 million. So he was going to have 20% of the team. It sold for $4.65 billion.
So he would have made about $2 billion.
Largest purchase price in sports franchise history.
He would have had $2 billion. And the guy's rich anyways. It don't matter. But
right.
It was something that wouldn't have mattered that he could have owned part of.
Yeah.
And that's why rich people have so much money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been around some uber wealthy people lately, and I listen to them talk about some things that they talk about, and I'm like, it's just out of this world. But for them to move $50 million here, invest $10 million here, they have so much money, and it's easy to recoup that money.
Yeah.
And the deal is, if you invest $50 million in something and it sets for 3 years before you start getting all your money back, those people have enough money that they're not worried about it.
Right. You know what you do whenever you hear a millionaire talking to you?
You shut up and listen.
You listen. So take that. That's your did you know. That's the did you know that you need to know. If a millionaire's talking, listen. Don't shed tears for John Elway, though. In 1997, he sold 5 car dealerships for $82 million. In 2011, the Broncos hired him as a GM.
Oh, he's made tons of money, but he had money. But it was kind of like that Charles Barkley deal.
Right.
It did not matter. Charles Barkley deal, or the deal with Michael Jordan, if you watch that show with his mom and him.
Yeah.
And
because Converse or Adidas?
I think it was Converse at the time. I think they were a pretty big player at that time because they had Magic Johnson was a Converse guy at first. And I think he's still a Converse guy. But Michael Jordan's mom, if that show is accurate, she really put Phil Knight in him in the spot.
Right.
But he also turned down guaranteed money for a shoe that was coming up and down.
Right.
Now, Michael Jordan bet on himself knowing if that didn't work out, he was going to get his shoe contract 2 years later anyways from somebody else.
Yeah.
But you know, good for him. And it's good for him. It's kind of like the guy that wanted to pay me in Bitcoin in 2012 or whenever it was. And for $1,000. And I was like, well, that would probably be worth $500,000 or $600,000 now.
Nobody's got a crystal ball.
But let's be honest with you. When Bitcoin got to 10,000 a share, and if I'd have owned like 10 shares,
Yeah, we're
I'd
selling.
have been like, I'm selling that shit right now before that shit crashes because you're going to catch up to this goofy shit.
Yeah.
Is crypto still big right now?
Yeah.
Are people trading it like
Well, the thing with Bitcoin is it's a finite amount of number. I don't know how you mine for Bitcoin or any of that bullshit, but there's a set number, and once that number is released, there's not going to be any more. Now, so I don't, like I said, I'm not a crypto expert. I don't know how they mine it,
yeah, I don't understand that either.
but I don't know. It's kind of up in the air because, you got different politicians that are kind of coming for it, but Trump has acted like he would be a crypto fan, so I'm sure it'll. But you got to find the next. You got to find the next
And there's one coming.
crypto that's coming. I think Bitcoin is kind of, it's for the wealthy. I think Ethereum's kind of the same way. So you got to find that next one that's going to revolutionize everything.
There's something coming out in the next 3 weeks. I have no idea what it is. I'm not going to give anybody a stock tip. I don't have a clue. I'm just saying in the next 3 weeks to a month, historically, you can look back at some new stock or something that's been coming out that we're missing a get rich deal right now.
Yep.
And it's not a get rich quick deal. It's a get rich by being on the ground floor of something. But there is some product out there right now that's going to revolutionize the world. I have no idea what it is. It's probably something to do with computers or some kind of new handheld device for kids. But there's something going to be released here soon that's going to be the next big thing. And you just got to get in the middle of it. There's a whole lot of people that thought MySpace was it, and it damn sure wasn't. It was Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But Facebook has withstood the test of time so far. It really has. I mean, I'll have to give them that. There hasn't been nothing new come along lately, really, that has replaced it.
No. There will be, though.
Can you still use TikTok, or is it done now?
No, you can. It wasn't coming in until later this year, 2025 or something like that. It's one of those things that they say they're going to ban, and then the next administration gets it, and nothing. TikTok's not going anywhere.
I don't understand.
Because Trump's on TikTok, and he said, it's not going anywhere.
Well, I don't understand banning TikTok when you still got Facebook. It's the same shit.
They're
one's
saying-
China, one's America, but America's all owned by Chinese anyways.
Yeah.
So, we're so global that my point is if the Chinese have all my fucking information, I trust them as much as I do the FBI.
Right.
If the Chinese people are interested in Jeff Stanfield, they're really bored.
Yeah.
They ain't got shit going on over there. So,
They want to ban it because information travels so quickly.
well, yeah, because they can't control what they don't want you to see it.
Right. Just like all that stuff with the assassination attempt on Trump. Well, fuck. Everybody's got a cell phone. Everybody uploads that shit to TikTok. So you see them hollering that there's a shooter on the roof. And then the body cam footage of some of the guys on the roof, have you seen that video?
Yes.
They're talking to a Secret Service agent, and they're like, we knew he was up here, but whatever. So
That's the first bipartisan thing our country's done in a long time. Because
AOC, if AOC's on your ass, you've done fucked up.
those people,
Sorry, I know this is a family show.
and when I say those people, I meant when the Democrats and the Republicans are on the same page on security.
It's a big deal.
What I got most out of that was everybody's not in that deep state group.
Right.
And AOC and some of those other people that are appalled by this, they're not in that group.
Right.
They don't matter to those people. The people that mattered, they're not appalled by it. They knew what was going on. You're going to have a hard time convincing me that some people on both sides of the deep state weren't in on what was going on. Too many opportunities were screwed up.
Yeah.
So, but when you get people like that on your side, that they realize that we have a serious issue.
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough Secret Service if we had a revolt in this country to protect those people anyways.
Yeah. No.
And if we had a revolt, not big percentage of law enforcement's going to be on the other side anyways.
Mm-hmm.
A bad deal. It was we avoided a major disaster. I think that this. What are your states on this thing? I don't think it matters who Kamala picks as a running mate. I think we're still going to be. I think Trump wins 38 states easy. She's the same. It's the same administration. Did you see where Black Lives Matter come out and said they will not endorse her?
Yeah.
And that surprised me. That really shocked me.
Let me see. I sent this to a buddy of mine yesterday. Trump is up 19 points in ages 18 to 34.
Yes. Did some
above Harris?
Yeah, some big Gen Z guy came out, and I do not know who he is, but he's an influencer, and he endorsed Trump yesterday.
Yeah.
And he had 150 million followers or something. And then I guess Kamala tried to call out Amber Rose. Was it Kamala that did it?
Don't get me lying.
No, it was Joy Reid did it. Boy, she's a fucking whack job.
Family show, Jeff.
Oh, excuse me.
Family show.
She's a messed up lady.
Yeah.
Me and her had the same haircut.
Yep.
My goatee's just a little prettier. But she come out and called out Amber Rose and told her, you know, you're not a black woman. You don't represent black people. Your dad's white. You know, they're eating their own, but their policy's what's killing us. I don't hate the Democrat. I just don't like their policy.
Yeah.
I want my kids and grandkids to have a safer life, and so does everybody else. So we'll see what's happening, but I think Trump wins in a landslide. I'm curious to see who she picks. I know that somebody told her no thanks, somebody that she was interested in. I can't remember who it was, but said no thanks. So if you're planning on running for 2028, you're not going to saddle yourself being to her.
No.
All right. Thank y'all for listening to us. Come by Delta. Come see us. We'll be at the Boss booth. We look forward to seeing you. God bless you. Peace. Bye.
Go to YouTube right now. Check out the season 3 of First Family of Waterfowl. And remember, if you find yourself in a room with a couple millionaires talking, listen. If you're looking for an outdoor adventure this coming waterfowl season or hunting season in general, check out Mallard Bay. Booking has never been easier. Type in what you want to do, where Mallard Bay will pull it up for you.